Hello, good morning everyone. I will be taking your lecture. My name is Lecturer Sunil Vijay, and today I will be taking the topic networking and internet. So in the last session we have already seen the data communication part. Now we are looking into the networking and the internet section. So coming to that, uh, the network. What is mean by the term network over here? Okay, so all of you might know that network is just a set of devices which is used for communication purposes, and the connecting part that we use over here is known as the network. So a node can be a computer, printer, or any other device capable of sending or receiving the data generated by other nodes on the network. So here, simply speaking, each and every information, the network that we will be having over here is basically the devices which are being used for the communication purpose only. So basically speaking, the devices that we are using over here is the laptop, network devices, computers, okay, mobile devices like smartphones or tablets and so on. So all are those are known as nodes. So in network terminology, in computer terminology, we will be using the term as nodes from the network perspective, and all they want to communicate, all they want to connect, we use the word as network. So the communication link over here is simply termed as the network. So a node can be a computer. In simple words, a node can be defined as a computer. It can be a smart device, it can be a printer, okay, and which is capable of sending the information. That means they can communicate with each other by sending and receiving the data. So this is something what we use the term as network over here. So basically speaking, whenever we need to perform communication, so on the communication we will be using the network. So communication perspective we will be using over here as a network. So coming to the next one, that is the types of the network. As you can see, so basically speaking, there are three types of network available for you guys. Normally speaking, the types of network available over here is categorized into three, that is LAN, MAN and WAN. Okay, so what is LAN? It's a small network. It can be created in the uh, company, and it can be created within a small home, or it can be created in a small building, so that we use the term as LAN. So educational purposes like colleges, universities, all are having what? LAN. So basically speaking, LAN is something that we defined as a small network, small perspective. And what about MAN? MAN is something called as the metropolitan area network, which is to be within the city. If we are talking about specifically speaking Mumbai city, so if there is a branch in like Lower Parel and there is another branch that want to connect to the church gate, so they can do it, but that is the part of the MAN, metropolitan area network, that is within that city. So if we are talking about within the city, we can use the term as MAN, metropolitan area network. So that means that LAN is expanded, and that expansion is now termed as MAN. Now the next one is called as the WAN. WAN, that is commonly called as a wide area network. So this wide area network is used to do what? Connect two or more cities, okay, states, or you can say countries. So for example, if I want to connect a branch which is in Mumbai and there is another branch which is in Pune, so I can connect it by using which technology? WAN technology. So if we talk about a larger like a broader network, so we use the term as WAN, or the larger network we are talking about over here. So these are the types of the networks that are available, and that can be categorized based on the usage. Okay, now coming to the next one, that is the type of the network connection that we have over here is categorized into two: point to point and multi-point. So what is mean by point to point? So the point to point means what? Like we are having the direct connection, that is PC to PC, as you can see in the diagram. So two computers directly connected with one single wire. So this type of connection is called as point to point. So point to point connection is direct link between the two devices such as computers and printers. Now coming to the next one, that is called as multi-point. So what is meant by the multi-point connection? Like it's a link which is being used for multiple devices to communicate with each other. So here in this diagram a server is there and 3 computers are there. So in short, 4 nodes try to connect with each other, and so this type of connection is called as multi-point. So all the systems are sharing the same media. So this type of a connection is called as multi-point. Coming to the next one that you can see on the screen, which is commonly the topologies from the network perspective we use over here. And what is the topology we have? We are following the topology which is called as the network topology based on star, bus, ring and mesh. That means the topologies that you are going to use, and those topologies are based on these 4 categories. Okay, and the topologies that you can see over here is the first one that we are going to discuss, and this is called as the bus topology. As you can see in the diagram, the nodes, all the computers are getting connected to one single wire, one single cable, and that cable is what we are using the term as coaxial cable, and that coaxial cable is responsible for the connection. So basically speaking, coaxial cable here are used, and they are used for only one purpose, to give the connection. And the terminators are there, and the terminators are used at the end points so that the signals which are extra or unnecessarily traveling on the cable will try to control by using this terminator. So here we are having the nodes that is based on what? The system that we are using, and those are being interconnected with each other to create this layout. So here in simple words, on that coaxial cable, a single coaxial cable is used as a backbone for the network. So here the coaxial cable is termed as backbone. यहाँ पे coaxial cable को हम लोग as a backbone define कर रहे हैं, and systems are connected to the cable using the T connector, and all the systems are interconnected and they are connected using what? T connectors. So messages are sent in both the directions of the cable. यहाँ पे जितने भी messages आप send करोगे वो दोनों directions में travel करेगा, that is to and fro, that is from system A to B as well as B to A. So both is possible over here. And as I told you, the terminators are there. So suppose if there is some unwanted signal traveling on the cable which is not being used, so that is to be terminated, that is to be stopped. So who is going to stop it? The terminator, that is the end points which are connected at the end of the cable. So this is the layout defined for bus topology. Okay, now coming to the next one, which is called as the ring topology. So as you can see on the screen, the ring topology is the modified version of the bus topology. So in bus topology we were using terminator. Now in ring topology we are not using any terminator. So the endpoints are connected with each other so that they make a ring shape, that is a circular shape. So this topology is called as ring topology. So here the technique that we follow and use is the tokens. That means if a computer A wants to send the data to computer B, what it will be using? It will be using the tokens. So the tokens is just like a packet will be circulating around the network. So in order to send the messages, system first have to capture the token and then attach the message to it. So only one system can send a message at a time. That means at a time only one system will be used to send the message. So I hope so this is clear to everyone. That is, in this type of a model a circular shape has been created, and that circular shape is known as ring topology. Okay, and here we will be using the term token, and that token is used to do what? Send the data from one end to another end. Okay, so now coming to the next one topology, this is called as a star topology. Okay, so in this star topology you can see there is one centralized device, and that centralized device is providing the connection to all the endpoints. So a networking device like hub or switch is used for connecting the system. So hub broadcasts the message, it receives to all of the system. So switches unicast the messages to the destination system. So here in this perspective, in this diagram, what they try to tell you that there is one centralized device, a networking device, and that networking device is providing the connection to all. So this type of topology is called as star topology. So in modern day-to-day life, we are using nowadays star topology as a common standard technology. So other technologies like bus and ring, that we are not using as a standard. Right now we are using only star topology. Why? Because this is the common one and it is easily available in the market. So each and every company is making it as a standard now. So this topology is termed as the star topology. So we will see it in detail also, all the network devices which are being used to create this type of network. Okay. Now coming to the short overview of the topology diagrams, like how does the diagrams look like. So this is all the overview that you can see in one single diagram. So fully connected network topology, you have mesh topology, like we are starting from the left to right. Mesh topology in the center, star network topology on the right hand side. At the bottom of the right hand side you can see the ring topology, and on the left hand side on the bottom you can see the common bus topology. So these are all the topologies that are used in the market, but as I told you, the common topology that we are using, okay. So you should know what is a star topology. A centralized device will be there, and that centralized device is providing what? The connection to all the devices. So this is the topology that we are using over here as a standard one. So each and every company or organization is using this standard. So normally in the colleges also you will find this type of topology only, that is called as star topology. Now coming to the next one, you have the network media over here. So basically speaking, network media is categorized into two parts. One is the wired and the second one is the wireless. So what is meant by the wired? Twisted pair, coaxial cable, fiber optic, these are all known as wired technology. And for the wireless, you can use the term as radio and infrared. The common example is you are using a remote control for controlling your TV or AC. So those are known as radio based and infrared based. Same as it is, you are using a Wi-Fi router, so you So as you can see, the unshielded doesn't have an extra coating, while in the shielded you can see there is an extra coating for support, okay, from external interference. So here unshielded cables are restricted to 50 meters and the shielded cables are used for 100 meters. So that is the length defined. So normally speaking, nowadays we are using this cable only at your home. If you are having a router and you want to connect the router to your computer via using a wire, so we are using this cable only. This cable is called as twisted pair cable. So normally in the colleges also and companies also, if there is a centralized network device and through that you want to connect to the system, so this is the cable that we are using. The cable is called as twisted pair cable over here. Okay, I hope so this is clear to everyone. And coming to the next category of the wire that we are using over here is the coming to the types of the available in the market. So in the market, those twisted pair cables are known as CAT cables, and they are also known as categories. Okay, so CAT 1, CAT 2, CAT 3, CAT 4, CAT 5, 5E and 6. So these are all the categories available over here based on the cables. So this CAT cable basically does what? It helps us to provide the speed. So if you need more speed, you need to go with the CAT 6 cable, that is giving you a speed of 1 Gbps, and the number of pairs is given is 4. That means total 8 wires will be there, and those 8 wires is paired into 4. Okay, 4 means send and receive. So this is something called as pair of cables. So sending and receiving will be there. That is in CAT cables. Okay, so category 6 can give you speed of 1 Gbps. So if you need more than that, so CAT 7 is there in the market also, which gives you around 10 Gbps speed. So that depends on the quality of the wire or the thickness of the wire, or you can say the capacity or density of the wire that we are using over here. Clear? So I hope so this is clear from the twisted pair point of view. Now the new wire that is being used in the market for more speed as compared to the twisted pair cable is called as a fiber optic cable. So this fiber optic cable, as you can see, it doesn't use copper as a medium. So like in coaxial wire and the twisted pair cable, we are using medium as you can say copper, but in fiber optic cables we are not using the medium as copper, we are using purely glass. Okay, I'm repeating again, glass, or commonly called as fiber. Okay, so why we are using this glass or fiber? Because now the data is not sent in the form of electrical signals. Instead of that, we are using LEDs. That means there are lasers, and those lasers are used to generate the light, and through that light the data travels from one point to another point. So the core that is called as a glass over here, and that is protected by an coating that is called as cladding. And then again, to provide more extra coating support, we have the coating section over here, which provides cover to that cable, and to provide more strengthening, because it's a glass, it's very delicate, so it should not damage, because if it is damaged, so the signals will not travel or the light will not travel through that glass. So for that we have strengthening fiber as well as cable jacket, which provides from external pressure. So these cables are very heavy and they provide protection to that glass. Okay, so basically speaking, fiber optic cables are categorized into two: single mode and multi-mode. So as you can see in the single mode diagram, only one single arrow is being used. Single arrow means only one light beam is traveling over here. Okay, but from the multi-mode point of view, we are using multiple light beams. So here in this diagram you can see 3 light beams traveling at the time. Okay, one straight and one from the up and one from the down. So this is the multi-mode fiber that we are using. So fiber optic cable is categorized into single mode or either multi-mode. So this is the cable that we are using over here. So I hope so from the fiber optic point of view you are clear. And normally speaking, generally speaking, this is the cable that we are using nowadays. Now coming to the description that we can see from the fiber optic cable, the core, like as I said, thin glass center of the fiber where the light travels, cladding like outer optical material surrounding the core that reflects the light back into the core. So that means the light should not get out of the glass. So for that we have the extra cladding section over here, something called as a reflective medium. Then comes the buffer coating, plastic coating that protects the fiber from damage, as I told you, and as well as moisture also. So if moisture comes into that glass, so the light will not travel properly. So again we are having this buffer coating. So advantages, as you can see, fiber optic networks operate at high speed, like up to 2.5 Gbps speed is giving over here, okay, and bandwidth, larger carrying capacity is being provided with this fiber optic cables. Distance signals can be transmitted up to 10 to 12 kilometers without needing to regenerate or strengthening. Okay, so this is something you can say the advantage of the cable that we are using over here. Okay, then coming to the next one, like resistance, greater resistance to electromagnetic noise. So there is no resistance, because if we are using copper cable, if we are having electrical signals, so there is some resistance over there. But right now in this medium there is only light and the glass, so there is no resistance at all. So maintenance, fiber optic cables are very costlier as compared to the other cables, because maintenance is high as the technology is new in the market right now. Okay, so I hope so the fiber optic cable is clear to you all. Now coming to the next one, network hardware that is available over here. The network hardware that you can see is categorized into 4 types: hub, bridge, switch and routers. Okay, so the hub is a device, bridge is a device, and switches and the routers are the devices, and these all devices are there for network connectivity point of view. So if we talk about the network connectivity, we talk about these all devices. So as you can see over here, we check all these devices one by one in detail, like from the hub. Hub is a common connection point for devices in a network that works at the physical layer and hence connecting networking devices physically together. So contains multiple ports. When a jacket arrives at one port, it is copied to the other port so that all segments on the LAN can see the packets. So basically speaking, hub is not a very smart device. It just gets the data and send it to all the ports on the network, so that if computer A wants to send the data to computer B, so if there are other computers on the network, so they all will receive the data. So this is one of the drawback of the hub. So that's why hub is not being used anymore. So we are using replace this hub device with the new one, which is called as switch. Okay, coming to the next one, as you can see, this is another device which is called as a bridge device. So bridge device are basically designed for dividing the large network into smaller networks for security reasons and as well as managing the traffic. Suppose if we are having 100 computers, and if computer A sends the data, so those 99 computers will get the data, so your network will become busy. So to minimize or reduce the traffic on the network, what we are using this bridge. So what will this bridge will do actually? If suppose I'm dividing into 50-50, so if the computer A sends the data, so now only 49 computers will get the rest of the 50 computers will be free. So this is the advantage of using the bridges. So this is something that we are using, but right now this bridge is also being replaced by the switch, because switch is performing the same task as the bridge does. So in short, we can say the hub and bridge both are combined and smartly used in a technology that is named as switch. So basically speaking, dividing the network into smaller chunks or smaller subnets, we use the term as subnets. So we use the term as bridge, okay, because of security reasons and because of the data traffic reasons over here. Coming to the next one, we have the network devices. You can see the diagram of the bridge layout. So Netgear is the company which is providing the bridge. So this is the connection. So one point comes in the front and the second comes in the second one. So this is the way the bridge is being used. Okay, and in the layout also you can see the manufacturing database server is being separated from the corporate section and the manufacturing segment. So manufacturing segment is separate, corporate segment is separate, and the manufacturing database segment is separated. So all are separated using what? Bridge over here. Okay, now the next device that you can see on the screen is the switch. So basically speaking, switch is a very smart device. It learns the addresses on the network, and based on the learning it will forward the data. That means if computer A wants to send data to computer B, the computer A will check the address of computer B. So that is being done by the switch. So switch will check the A and B address, and then it will start the communication. So other computers will not interfere in between that. So this is something called as a security, and which is being provided by the switch. So switch is used to create a large network. अगर switch आप use कर रहे हो तो basically switch आप किसके लिए use करोगे? Large networks को create करने के लिए यहाँ पे use करेंगे. Okay? Coming to the next one, you can see the next device available is the routers. So routers perform the traffic direction functions on the internet. That means connecting to different networks. So as you know, you are using a router at your home for internet connectivity. You can go for this one, and the routers are basically designed for one and only one purpose, that is communicating the internal network with the external network. Okay, so if we want to connect two different networks, we will be using this device, and that device is called as router. So routing, defining the path, and internet connectivity, all is being managed by one single device, and that device is called as router. So you can see the details in the next slide, as you can see on the screen. So it's a common configuration that the router used to create a large network by joining the two network segments. So as I told you, internal and external. External means the ISP, the internet service provider, and internal means that you are using. So both are connecting with each other. So this is something called as the routers are designed for. So routers can be dedicated hardware. As I told you, it's a specific device, it's a specific hardware, so that you need to use it over here. And speaking to that, more than one network can be connected over here. So all modern network operating systems include the functionality as a router. So all the operating systems nowadays uses this one as a software part also. So routers will normally create, add, or divide the network layer, as they are normally IP based devices, because they are on the network layer, so they work with the IP addresses, so that we see in that protocol part. Okay, so simply speaking, this device is designed to do what? Connect to devices based on the IP addresses. So if IP addresses are there, then and only then these devices will communicate with each other, because it works on the network layer. ये कौन से layer के ऊपर work कर रहा है? Network layer के ऊपर work कर रहा है. So coming to the next one, as you can see on the transmission modes available over here. So the transmission modes you can see categorized into three: simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Okay. What is meant by the simplex? Only one direction the signal can send. The common example is radio waves. Radio waves means what? Only incoming is there is no outgoing concept. So this type of communication we use the term as simplex. So communication takes place in only one direction only. So this is the type of the communication that we are using. The second type is called as half duplex. That means communication can happen both the ways, but at one time only. That means if the sender is sending, the receiver can only receive. He cannot send. Okay, and if the receiver wants to send, then at the same time sender has to wait. So this is the two-way communication, but again only one direction will take place. And the next one is called as a full duplex. Full duplex means what? The communication will happen in both the direction at the same time. The common example is mobile phones for the full duplex. For half duplex, the common example is the walkie-talkies that normally the government agencies use for short-range communication. Police personnel are using those devices. That is called as half duplex. But full duplex is used for two-way communication at the same time. So the transmission can be categorized as unicast, one-to-one communication, like one will one. Okay, point to point that we were saying. Multicast means one to group of computers. Suppose if there are 10 computers in the network, so one computer wants to send the same data to 5 computers on the network, that can be done. So this type of communication is called as multicast. And the last one is called as broadcast. Broadcast means to all. That means all the computers on the network will communicate with each other. So that is something called as broadcast. Okay. Coming to the next one, the last of the topic that we have the protocol, because this is a topic that's very vast and it is categorized into OSI model and TCP/IP protocol suite. So that we will see in detail definitely in the next lecture. But for right now, I want to give you a short description. Protocols is just this set of rules that we use for network communication, and this OSI model is consisting of the 7 layers, and the modified version or the new version you can say is the TCP/IP model. So these two models are being defined in this protocol. So basically speaking, this is something that we are studying over here from the perspective of the, you can say, networking. So from the network basics, minimum that much information you should be aware of, and that is what the syllabus is demanding from you. So this is something what we are discussing over here. Okay, so I hope so this much is clear to everyone. So if you are having any doubts, any comments you want to send, that's okay, fine. You can send it in the chat box and in the comments in the Google Classroom, and there we will try to sort out the issues. And most probably in the next lecture I will be having a video conferencing with you, like face-to-face chat. So there we will be having the communication using the Cisco WebEx I will be using. So Santosh sir will be giving you the details, and in the next lecture definitely we will have a face-to-face communication with all. Okay, thank you very much, thank you all, and have a good day to all. Take care everyone, be safe at home, and try to don't get out of the home until unless it is required. Yeah, thank you very much.